Alrighty then, Yukimaya. Let's see how you mess up this time. Thank you to our final patrons, Strawbones, Redwolf4765, and the Midnight Gemlord. Now, if you haven't done this breakdown / review of chapter 197 of Blue Loco, please, if you're earlier on this on the chapter, in the comment section down below, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, here hit that little notification bell so you miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do a Patreon down below, you can support for as low as count them $1 a month to get us exclusive videos, early content, and more. Now, let's hop into the live reaction. What's up, guys? I got the pencil here, and here we are to do a live reaction to chapter 197 of Blue Loco, which is known as... I actually don't know, because I can't see the name on the cover where I'm looking at. However, let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into it. Editing me. Ready. 3, 2, 1, go. Greetings. I have it on me. I keep it on me at all times. So if you ever catch me lacking, that wasn't me. But regardless, let's hop right into the chapter itself. One fire color page. I swear, Nagi's eyes are always changing color. Like, sometimes they're green, sometimes they're... I think he was brown once. I guess this is a lightish brown. I don't know. Nagi is consistently shifting. However, Isagi, the GOAT, always consistent. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Blue Loco. Oh yeah, center color for the all-out decisive battle. Win and fill Japan with joy. Proudly adorned in the color blue. And go do battle of the war. Yo, when Japan beat Germany, bruh. That was, of course they lost. But still, they beat Germany. So, the blue lock is real. I'm sorry, they're just in the second selection right now. You know, they had to lose, and they had to fall back down. You know, they gotta go pick up Barrow real quick from from what's his name, from Naraya, and then they're gonna progress again. You know, we're gonna have some crazy moments in the next. I'm sorry, but let's see. There's a beautiful cover color page, along with this beautiful color cover page. I swear, I speak English most of the time, but regardless, let's see. Like, here's the thing, right? I still feel like I get it, right? I feel bad for Yukimura to a degree that bro's literally going blind. Like, this is literally his last chance to prove himself ever, period, point blank. He doesn't want to just do that with an assist. But, like, dog, what are you planning? I'm actually genuinely intrigued to see what you're planning. Just the gyro shot again? After Chris literally laughed that off? Like, bro literally hit a JoJo pose on you after you failed to do it. Come on now, bro. Like, you aren't going to be able to do this. Especially off a corner kick. Like, how do you expect to use your gyro shot effectively off a corner kick where everyone can just be like, oh, hey, Yuki, what you planning to do there, buddy? Like, come on now. Let's see. You know, single stroke. Hey, yo. Pause. Calm down. In a single stroke, Isagi cuts off the idealistic Yukimaya. However, a certain word continues to weigh in his mind. I'm gonna assume it's fantasy. If I had to take a guess of all the words that could linger in Yukimaya's mind, it's probably gonna be the fantasy part. Because he still believes this is all a mission from the Lord. Like, he believes this is just a divine test. We'll see. I don't know. I feel like, once again, I feel the same way about Yukimaya that I feel about Kunigami and I feel about Ryo and Nagi. Like, I feel like they're all walking down the wrong path right now. And I don't think the mangaka is going to reward them for that. I doubt it. I don't think any of them are going to score, but you look at the same guy. I don't know. I didn't see. The thing is, I got in the Blue Loxo League. I didn't necessarily have any predictions about the U20. I think, yeah, because I literally popped on around early Neo Egotist League, and I didn't necessarily have much comment on the initial game. So this game is where I've been riding and hedging all my bets and making all my assumptions and complaints, as you guys have been seeing. So I don't know. We up in the air. Let's see. Isagi, you and Kaiser. Oh wait. Oh, is this supposed to be Isagi's mind? Isagi, you and Kaiser are the same. You're cut from the same cloth. In a way, I still agree. Like, I say all good strikers are. Maybe, like, Noah isn't that. I guess it really depends, right? Because if you want to say, like, a striker controls the team, I'd say Noah controls the team pretty much. Lavahino controls the team. Chris, he controls the team. We look at Loki all the way back at the end of second selection. He controlled the team. And he was the youngest there, but he was the lead striker, so he was all about the control. So I don't know. Yuki Maya, like, this is just a general structure of things. So I don't know what you really expect in Isagi. Yeah, you guys are. Like, what was that? Don't mess with me. How are Kaiser and I a pair of anything? You are. Like, you literally hijacked one of his abilities. The only one you could feasibly copy, you hijacked. If anything, you're literally taking notes. You're literally, like, you got the notepad out going, okay, control team, get a teammate to support you, blah, 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 metavision. Like, this is your strat, Isagi. You got that from him. So you and Kaiser are very much cut from the same cloth. Don't focus on the wrong parts here. Yuki Maya was spitting with that. It's your... Look at the gains on this man. They draw him beefier usually. Usually he fills out the sleeves. They need to draw him beefier. But it's Germany's ball. Play restarts with the throw-in. Why can't Yuki Maya and I understand each other? Because you literally told an egotist to suppress his ego. Like, Corona did it willingly. Corona was like, dog, I literally didn't even get to play in the U20. I'm just here for the memes and the Doritos. Maybe if I play with you, I'll get a chance to play in the actual World Cup. So I'm just going to do that. Like, that was a genuine submission of ego. Rayo, he just gave up. He gave up on being his own person. Well, to be fair, he gave up on being his own person the moment he decided to submit himself to the copy technique instead of actually developing a new skill. So he also just submitted his ego to Nagi. And there are people out there that will do that. But Isagi, you are talking to the former number 5 in Blue Lock? Dude, the last thing he's going to do is submit to you, someone he consistently viewed as an inferior. Like, there's no reason. Sure, you scored the last goal in the U20. Sure, you brought the most out of Rin. Sure, you did, arguably, outside of Rin, like I'd say number 2, the most important player on, well, Mara and Ari were kind of crazy. No, but like, in terms of offensive power, yes, you were much more important than Yuki Maya, I'd say, in terms of just manipulating Rin and bringing more out of him, doing the most, awakening, like, all that is on Isagi. Rin doesn't care about, not Rin, Yuki Maya doesn't care about that. Why did that matter to him? All he sees is a chance to become the greatest striker in the world, and you are, A, getting in the way of that, and B, getting in the way of that. So by telling him, hey, you submit to me, even if it's just for one game, like, any sort of submit, like, you went through this before. Like, dude, he outright rejected my plan, even though it benefited both of us equally. Yeah. Same thing happened with Barrow. Like, dude, you can't be talking to these, like, high-ranked, big ego kind of people like a regular human being. You either gotta crush them, as you did with Barrow, or you gotta hope they have some sort of mental awakening of like, Isagi's right. And the second one almost never had, like, every single person that was ranked higher than Isagi, that Isagi ended up getting on his side or working with genuinely, Isagi had to beat. Nagi. I mean, Bachiro was ranked higher than him. That's one exception where Bachiro was ranked higher than him, but they were just homies. But Nagi, Barrow, Rin, Shido, anybody he's actually had to run into and do something with, he's had to beat before when they were ranked higher than him and they had some form of ego. In order to make his value be recognized, he had to beat him. And in Yuki Maya's mind, you haven't necessarily beaten him. In fact, he's just constantly beating you by stealing the ball off of you and continue to do his thing. Isagi, break his ankles. Maybe literally. But regardless, let's see. Whatever. Gotta reset my mind. I'm angry. Whatever. Okay, this is an interesting setup. So Chigiri's in the back. I'm assuming ready to do a mock cut, and Rail's right here. I'm assuming, what is he? I don't get what the strat here is, though. I'm guessing maybe he's gonna, I guess he's just like there ready for the rebound, because I'm assuming Nagi's far in the back. Like, remember, I believe it was at the end of the first half of the U20 where they literally had Nagi standing on the midline, like right there, just in case they got the ball and they could just boot it up to Nagi and Nagi could go nuts. Like, I think that's what's happening here, because it explains why you don't see Nagi in the shot. There's no way it'll come true. His wish that's so self-centered, as if he's the protagonist. Isagi, you're all supposed to be the protagonist. Like, in your own head. Like, I believe, I don't know, I'll admit, sometimes I do feel like a side character. And sometimes I play the role of a side character. But, like, everyone believes they're the main protagonist. Like, everyone should, I mean, I believe everyone should believe they're their own main character. You're the only person who has, like, internal dialogue. Unless you're hearing other voices. Like, you are the only person who can root for yourself, has your own body that you need to worry about, has your own thoughts you need to worry about. Like, everything is you-based. So, yeah, everyone's wish is self-centered, and everyone believes they're the protagonist. Isagi, level up your thinking, bro. Maybe that's why you lack it. But I think this is going to lead to his sort of awakening with Metavision. Something in my mind believes that this is going to be like his next step in terms of like understanding what he couldn't understand before. Right now, I feel like the protagonist of the world. Yo, what is Nagi? Well, yes, he's gonna awaken. Look at this. Look at this. He's thinking. The boy's thinking. It's over. It's over. He's thinking. You know, once Isagi starts thinking, it's over. It's over. It's just different. We're done. We're done. Isagi's thinking, it's over. But what is with Nagi and awakening players, or like waking other people up? Like, he does this all the time. Like, he did it to Isagi in the first game where he ever showed up on an actual playing field. He did it to Bachira in the second selection match where he was like, come on, dog, I don't even want you. He did it to Jigiri. He ended up waking up Jigiri and making him evolve. He ended up doing it to... He was the one who caused the awakening in the U20. Like, something about Nagi and, like, waking people up, bro. I don't know. Is it because he's lazy? Is it because he's always asleep that it's just natural for him to wake everybody up? Like, Nagi's just him, bro. But regardless, protagonist, yeah, bro's thinking, wait a sec, are they the same thing? The reason Nagi achieved peak concentration and defeated me, and the way Yukimaya blindly believes in himself. Why is that such a good drawing of Nagi, bro? Is this the same? I did not. This is such an amazing drawing of Nagi. I'm gonna have to draw that. I do not know where that mega sketch. I have been drawing Blue Lock on the side. You know, I dabble. You can check that out on the Instagram. Link down below. But regardless, concentration defeated me, the way Yukimaya blindly believes in himself. Belief that you're the protagonist. Yep, look at Brody. Look at Brody. Look at Brody. Dog. Why? Why do this? At this point, well, I guess you can't wait until the next game. Belief that you're the protagonist and drive to accomplish something. It's egocentrism. Indeed. Well, I'm not sponsored, by the way. But it's egocentrism. The boys are blanked out. You know he's different. You know he's on a different level. I love how Ness is just confused. Like, I was so used to just Isagi doing this. Why are you like this? Like, if I was the German players, I think I would just be sick and tired of it. Like, I would just be like, yo, you are stupid. You are dumb, idiot, dumb, bubblegum, stupid. Like, I hate all of you. Because, dude, this has got to be annoying. Like, I get it. It worked for our characters for the longest time, but at least they were all, like, on the same page. Like, yeah, I may steal from you here or there. But even then, this is kind of a rare thing to do. We never necessarily saw people yanking their own teammates' ball. That was like a borrow thing. That was a Isagi thing. Like, that was like rare in Blue Lock itself. So I know these players with high statuses from around the world are like, what? Why are we doing this? Wait, we're teammates. This is crazy. Like, yeah, like, if I was Ness, I'd just be tired of it. Like, why are you robbing me? I have one job I believe Ness is a midfielder. I have one job as a midfielder, and you're a striker. Why would you let me do my one job? Look, even Kaiser's annoyed. Like, I swear I'm gonna smack these kids upside the head. Like, I don't even blame him. You sure are being reckless, Yuki. So let's see. How well does that fit? How well does that fit? Yeah, it fits pretty well. Rayo's right here. All he needs to do is cut over and block his way. Makes sense, makes sense. You're surrounded by enemies, lonely dribbler. I still want to smack Rayo after that. I don't know, something about Rayo, like his slimy introduction. But then again, Nagi was slimy in his introduction. But Nagi was saucy in his introduction too. Rayo was just mean about it. Am I a Rayo hater? A raider? Maybe I am. But I don't know. I still feel bad for his anti-development. Like, I feel like something's gonna slide with, and something is not gonna slide with that. Could it be that Rayo's thinking the same way? Yes, everyone's thinking the same way. Rayo's level of concentration is through the roof right now. It's not just so he can pass the ball to Nagi. It actually is. But it's not just so he can pass the ball to Nagi. It's because he's so consumed by egocentrism. Yeah, I can see that. A story about making Nagi the best in the world where Rayo is the protagonist. Once again, yeah. It's interesting that this didn't, I mean, maybe, true, it never necessarily thought like that. Like, the word protagonist and or main character or whatever were never necessarily brought up in Blue Lock previously. It just wasn't. Why? I can't tell you. Well, no, I believe Ego said you should believe you're the protagonist of your own story, but I guess it just didn't click at the time. Like, there are other lessons to be learned. So, I suppose it makes sense. I suppose it makes sense that they're like, or Isagi's like, protagonism, power, girth, might, But if this is the next way for him to evolve Metavision, so that it's now Isagi vision, I'm down. I'm down for that. It could explain the holes. It could greatly, or not explain the holes, it could fill in the holes that he's missing and allow him to have that extra juicy, extra fibrous edge when it comes to someone like Kaiser, who also has Metavision, and Rayo, who's subconsciously developing Metavision, and pretty much any other player he's going to run into. Like, I don't know, I've been seeing it, and France is pretty stacked. Like, Rin, Shido, Tokimatsu, I believe they have Karo too. Like, they have a really stacked team, so I'm gonna assume he's gonna need like high level, next level, top tier, and they have Loki on that team too. They're gonna need some next level stuff in order to be valid in that game. So I could definitely see Isagi getting the most wild of amps here. So the egocentrism allows you to reach a flow state. By cheating, by doping off yourself, you get to achieve flow. In order to achieve maximum performance, egocentrism is absolutely necessary. You see, the interesting thing about that's an interesting way to put it. Because, like, whenever Isagi achieved flow before, I mean, I guess it was a total belief in oneself in that case, right? Because I specifically remember in the third selection, where it was not Yukimaya, it was Isagi, Hiyori, Nanase, and Rin and Shido up against Karasu and Otoya and their team. What ended up specifically happening that allowed Isagi to get that final goal was absolute disregarding of thought and just trusting his body, which I suppose is max egocentrism. I suppose Isagi's goal in the U20, where he just straight he straight appeared there, was also egocentrism, absolute belief in oneself and understanding as a protagonist. I guess that is true, because that kind of encapsulates everything. It encapsulates your skill, an absolute belief in your own skills. It encapsulates luck, an absolute belief that you as a protagonist will be in that right place at that right time to get duped on by a pigeon. Like in terms of overall, I suppose egocentrism would be the quickest way to achieve flow, because all your concentration is focused. It's locked in one area, versus being unegocentric and you are taking in the emotions and accounts of other people. But now, as long as you view yourself as the one and only, the true person who's going to succeed, and you do it effectively, I guess things like this can happen. You can achieve cheap flows. Though I feel like overall, this is going to be like a pseudo flow. Like, it'll be a false flow, if you will. Like, I don't think overall this is going to be the most effective way for characters to enter flow, or this won't be like as crazy as a real flow amp. It'll be like Kaioken as compared to Super Saiyan. It'll give you an amp, it'll give you a Jurassic amp, but I feel like this may not be the end all be all, if you know what I'm saying. I don't think it is. That's it. It's so obvious, but I completely overlooked it. Yeah. Okay, so it is being acknowledged that it was overlooked, because it was, I suppose. Because I'm pretty sure, I don't remember. I reread Blue Lock all the time because it's just Chef's Kiss. But I believe Ego said something about someone being, it was either at the end of the U20 or right before the U20, something about being the protagonist in their own world. Something like that. So it makes sense where Isagi's heard it, but it just in one ear, out the other. I'm trying to understand others from my own point of view. They're protagonists that want to score. Then there's also protagonists that want to pass, which sounds so stupid. Like, I still don't vibe with it. Like, Sorry, I gotta say some more. But I still don't. Protagonists that want to pass. I don't know. I feel like you are antithetical to Blue Lock at that point. Like, I mean, I get it. Blue Lock isn't only making strikers. Like, look at Corona, look at Gagamaru, especially. Look at RU, look at Nico, look at all these individuals who are discovering new things that they care about. But at the same time, it's like, darn, Rayo. I feel like you did have a path to becoming #1 in the world, not just submitting back to slopping off Isagi's toes, or not Isagi, Nagi's toes, bro. Like, you can do your own thing, but I guess not. Protagonists who want to pass. If there are stories based on logic, there are also stories based on feel. Ooh, I like that one. I thought, no, what you doing, bro? But logic, the logical, and that's true. Ever since we were introduced to Noah, he knew he could change his fate with a football, so he did everything he logically could to change his fate with a football. Meanwhile, once again, Chris feels like the guy who does it for the passion, does it for the emotion, does it for the show, the stage, the actor, the flair of it all. He feels like an actor. I'm sorry, Chris. He just gives me those vibes. And now he's realizing that everyone is their own protagonist. Yes, dumb. So, like, once again, I can't necessarily say this is the worst because it's not like anyone has brought this up in focus. Not like anyone's brought this up in focus before. Someone has mentioned protagonist stuff, just not to the highest degree of focus. But let's see what Aoki Sagi gets here. What Nomura is just how do you draw this? How do you draw this, bro? How do you draw this? Like, what is this? What is it? Is that the Earth and the Moon and Kunigami and Agi and Noah and Chris and Ray? Like, what is this? How do you do this? This man's a monster. I love it. But golly, this man's a monster. Like, I can't even imagine drawing this. I have a big old sheet of paper right there, and I still can't imagine drawing this. But there are countless stories and protagonists orbiting the Earth. Interesting how he's so in on this planetary system idea. Like, ever since he hooked up with Corona, it's all been about planets, orbit, Earth, Moon. Though it's interesting. If anything, like, if I were to, like, encapsulate this whole protagonist idea, I would be like, I am the sun, and everything is swirling around me. I am the center of gravity. I am the center of this world, the protagonist, and everything else kind of works around me, but I guide it all. Like, at least that's what my thing is. Unless Isagi is referencing himself as the Earth in the scenario, and he's saying everyone else is a celestial body that's orbiting around him. But then again, I still think the sun works better, because, you know, the sun has multiple celestial bodies. Meanwhile, we just have the moon. But regardless, fire art, fire ideology. Yukimaya, you suck. Yukimaya, you suck, bro. But, and am I wrong, Yuki fans? Am I wrong, Yukimaya fans? I didn't think so. Who just stole the ball and got stolen from? Mr. One-on-one Emperor style? Mr. Unbeatable in a 1v1? Mr. I can't lose in 1v1 lost to Rayo. Let me say it one more time for the people in the back. Rayo. He's booty, y'all. No, but let's see. Of course, Yukimaya and I couldn't see eye to eye. Our individual feelings of egocentrism override each other. But I feel like this is something I feel like Isagi should know. Maybe he'll maybe he'll like subconsciously realize, oh wait, this is the exact same thing that happened with Baro. Because that's exactly what this is Baro 2.0, except Baro would like physically assault you. Yukimaya will steal the ball from you and yell at you and say mean words. But Baro will like he'll actually attack you. Feel the egocentrism will write each other. I was unconsciously using him as a side character in my story. True. As most people do. Like, I would say, once again, I just believe everyone, if you don't believe in the protagonist, you are your own protagonist. And some people just everyone ends up as a side character. There are different side characters, different levels of side characters. There's background dressing, which is, I'd say, the majority of humanity to most individual humans. But then you have your secondary side characters, tertiary side characters, primary side characters. So, yeah, this idea does make sense. Regardless of who is correct, if we don't both behave as protagonists, we'll never be able to construct a new goal. My thinking was too shallow. Ugh, that boy thinking, he puzzle piecing. Admittedly, it's interesting though, he lost the Metavision amp. I don't know, I always signify the amp with the puzzle piece eyes, but who knows? Let's see. Remember, what I experienced at Blue Lock has been the constant clashing of every protagonist ego. Okay, so yeah, he is. I think Borrow should be here, specifically. But these four work, especially. These four work just fine. Constantly flashing of each protagonist egocentrism. Egotists. So is it egoist or egotist? Because I consistently see switching back and forth. I see some people say egotist. I see some people say egoist. Tell me down below. But this is it. My new piece. Egocentrism. I'll grasp it using metavision. Egoist egocentrism. Yep. Okay. So this is the final piece. The last amp. The final amp that's gonna put Isagi on route for winning this game. Aight. Or maybe not. If he still loses here, and it shows that Metavision still has a long way to go, I think that works too. I think he kind of earned this W. Like, bro's been developing at an insane rate. And I love how all the characters that he's seeing here are on his own team, except for Chris. Meanie head. But Chris is obviously looking at Noah. But it seems like all the eyes of his own team are leading towards Isagi for their all side characters within his own story. And ironically enough, they are. On a meta level, yes, they are. 133. This is taking so, like, these 3 minutes are lasting forever. The Star Training system has 90 seconds left. This is bad. Get back, BM. Now that I think about it, if time ran out in the middle of the play, the Masters would be forced to leave anyways. They'd stay until the play ended. Either way, it doesn't even matter to you, Mr. Substitute Buddha Priest. What was that? Yeah. I can give Raichi the idea that he made it this far. He did have a style of style. I still don't know how Igaguri, of all characters, made it past that 100 goal thing. I just don't. I really don't know how he did that. But, hey, whatever. You want to go? All right, let's see. Kunigami, bro, where are your specs, dog? You were supposed to be at least comparable to Noah, at least, bro. You're getting dogged on by Rayo. I'm sorry. I keep disrespecting Rayo because he deserves it. But still, come on now, bro. Rayo, I can see so much. My body has become super sharp. Hey, yo, Rayo, calm down. The kids are watching. But no, I can see so much, and my body has become super sharp. Right now, I'm kind of amazing with my thoughts and movements going at super high speed. Super high speed? Really, bro? Super high speed. I feel invincible. I can do it. I'll end the game with this. Yeah, so he has, I wouldn't say metavision, he has vision. Like, he has the MCU vision in his eyes right now. Because he's like seeing stuff, but he's not seeing the future. Like, notably, metavision is just, like, at least from our display of metavision, you can literally see characters shifting, moving, dancing, Millie rocking on every block. Like, you can see everything. Meanwhile, Ray is kind of just seeing the field clearly, which is nice, but not the same thing. My apologies. But Chris is sprinting. Agi's in a good position. Chigiri's place is also ideal, but they're all sacrificial pawns. Noah, if you don't get in his face, like, stop him. Stop him, please, Noah. What are you doing? For a defensive player, you're not. Well, then again, he is a striker by nature, so I get why he's being pretty bad as a defensive player. But you're literally just watching him. But obviously, yeah, they're all sacrificial pawns to not. I don't like that. I mean, as have been said in the comment section, yes, I know they're just two bros having fun playing soccer, but I feel like it goes against all their development. Why separate? Why to learn it was the wrong thing to do? I don't think Nagi becoming a strong independent player and Rayo becoming his own strong independent player are bad things. I feel like they need to do that. The fact that they're relying on each other to this day makes them weak. Then again, I'm gonna have to do a whole video on Isagi and Rayo, or Nagi and Rayo, because I feel I'm a little bit confused. It really depends. If they fail here, then I think the mangaka and Ego and me are all on the same page. Like, this is a bad thing and they need to figure out something else. But if they end up succeeding, well, shoot, I guess the original plot point we had was moot. Like, I guess they should have always just stuck together. I don't know. But I feel like Nagi wouldn't be half the player he was if he didn't leave, and Ryo wouldn't be half the player he was if he wasn't forced to grow up. So the fact that they're going back to being kids right now is just, I'm sorry. Let's see. See, this is why I don't like Ryo. He is one of the only characters who's consistently drawn weird. Like, I'm like, go back to like when he was first introduced, his eyes were always like a bit too far apart. Then they were sometimes drawn too big. Then he sometimes had too much detail. I don't know. Ryo just unnerves me. He's just a weird character. Like, can you imagine seeing that? Imagine, like, I'm not gonna do the face, so this is weird. But like, imagine your homie, you're playing a sport with a homie, basketball, soccer, football, anything. And your homie makes that face and says, "Let's go, my treasure." Like, dude, I would be currying that. Ryo's just a weirdo, dog. He is just a weirdo. He's a weirdo exception. I don't care how good he is. He's just a weird individual, a weird beast. I really hope he doesn't make the U20. I really want Sei to come back and be like, "Hey, y'all running Shido? Yeah, we were planning to. All right. Who's your midfielder? Oh, we're gonna use Ryo. Get him out. I will do it." That would be the ultimate twist, right? Because that would be the extra bit of flavor you could add in. Because with this being the case, Sei is kind of a free agent. Sure, Rin wouldn't like it at all. But if you want to use Shido to the max, unless Isagi gets unless this amp for Isagi allows him to use Shido in the same way that Sei used Shido, then I think Shido joining their World Cup tour is entirely possible. Because what he's still under the age of 20. He was playing for Japan's U20 team. So I think it works. This is me though. Let's get my check. Ugh, his face is just so nasty. I only have eyes for Nagi. Ew. I mean, well, it's 2022. I can't judge. But like, regardless, bro, like even Nagi's like, Ryo, that's kind of weird, buddy. Put your tongue away. I do not want to get licked up. As awakened Ryo storms down the field, a pair of eyes behind him have quietly begun to sharpen and taken on a new light. With your newly discovered puzzle piece, Egocentrism, devour them all, Isagi. Goatsagi. To be continued in next chapter 198, 0 points. Okay. I need to tighten you. Yes, the chapter's worthy. Are you shocked? Are you surprised? Are you appalled? Are you shaking? It's just the sound. But regardless, the chapter is worthy. One, it does make me think Isagi kind of forgot some of his development, like, or at least his understanding of individuals. Like, I do feel like some of it is forgotten. Like, Baro is just the main one that comes to mind. The idea that he just doesn't remember what he went through with Baro. Now he had to crush his egotism in order to use him. But I suppose in this different way, where he's not necessarily trying to crush Yukimaya, he's trying to use Yukimaya, is an interesting spin on it. The idea that the protagonist idea has been hinted at before, but hasn't been picked up necessarily by anybody, and Isagi's now picking up this piece with the help of Yukimaya, the madman. I think that's great. Ryo being awakened, I mean, I suppose it works. Once again, it kind of just feeds into Isagi's development here, and I'm perfectly fine with that. And I'm intrigued to see how this goes, how these many different forces interact with each other, whether it's going to be in a good way or a bad way. Isagi now has the final piece he needs to, I think, win this game, or at least stall it out. We'll see. And we also have this hint right here, where through Igaguri and Raichi, where the play may end with like overtime for the two masters. Like there may be a play where there's like 10 seconds left, and Isagi's going to need to utilize his protagonist-based Egocentrism Metavision amp in order to use Noah as a pawn to get a goal. And I think that would be cool. This chapter has left the whole field in a very interesting spot, essentially. It's left all of our characters, from your Kaisers to your Yukimayas, in a very interesting spot to all be devoured by Isagi. However, that's what I think. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments section down below. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure that notification bell so you miss out on any videos that come on the channel. Also, I do have history down below. It's more for as low as $1 monthly. Hitting exclusive videos, early content, and more. Thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is Dagger the Pencil. writing off.